All right, welcome into Bears Nation podcast on a Friday night, Friday evening. Myself, Kevin Lapka, alongside Kellyn Gerenstein here, hanging out with you guys on this Friday, right before the weekend. Just having a little bit of fun, man. We're gonna do some rankings, some hot takes, and just hang out with all y'all here on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, and on Twitter. You can find us on all those platforms and on YouTube. Or I already said YouTube, on Instagram and on TikTok. Be on the look for content on those platforms. Kellyn, it's a Friday night. We're just going to hang out here, have a little bit of fun, talk with the viewers. If you guys are here, pop in the chat. Let us know you're here. Want to interact with you. But we both said we're bored. We're not doing shit. Might as well come on and have a little fun with our audience. Why not?
Yeah. Also, there was one person that left a comment on the video we just did, the training camp recap. Said, "Dude, make your bed." So I did that. But I probably should do that last time. I'm not a person that takes pride in making my bed every morning, especially when I just get back in it as soon as I get home from work. You know what I mean? Scopes what's going on. But I feel like the level of redundancy from making your bed every day is really thrown off the human mind. That's the first hot take, non-football hot take, but I don't give a damn about making my bed. Now, if my wife one day is like, dude, you have to make the bed, or like, you can't sleep here, then it's like, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
But I'm like in between moving from home to the new college place. So like I've got stuff all over my room. I don't care what my bed looks like. But I'm going on live with Bears Nation and Kevin Lapka. So today I have done that.
To be fair, I did not notice it. Like when I first saw the comment, I didn't know if he was talking about me, because like my bed is right. It's like in the corner. I was like, how can you even tell it's not made?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it was made, but I didn't even notice. So that guy must have been like, I don't know. He must have gotten bored and then just decided to look real deep into your background, or he just didn't like our analysis and had to take it out on us with the lack of cleanliness in our rooms. But like, I feel like it's weird. I'll make my bed in like the evening, if I'm being honest. Like,
really.
Yeah, like, or if I saw a TikTok one time and it was like, there's something about making your bed that kind of just like, gets you a little motivated. Like, okay, I made my bed. Like, boom, now we go. Bed is made. Now the day starts now. Like, it could be 8 p.m. I just made my bed. I'm going for a mile-long run. I'm going to the gym at 9 p.m. This is how it starts. But yeah, I see a whole bunch of shit on that app that just will tell me all this stuff that I either never knew, but it's also probably not true. But we did just post on that app, and we made a fun little video about, I asked the viewers, I said, give me your hottest Bears/NFL takes. And I was going to put them together for a little video we put out. And I want to read some of them to you, and I want you to rate them on the scale of hotness. All right. A scale of 1 to 10, 1 being extremely mild, not hot at all. 10 being extremely hot, almost outrageous. All right. Okay. So I've got about 10 takes that I took here from the comments. I'm going to read them to you, and we're going to see what you say. All right.
All right.
First one, we're going to start kind of mild. All right. Okay. Byron Pringle is going to shock people. He was fighting for yards on KC between two of the best receivers since 2018, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Your thoughts on that take?
That Byron Pringle is going to surprise people?
Yeah.
What level of surprise? Is it just like generally surprised?
I don't know. He didn't specify. He just said Byron Pringle is going to shock people, and then he gave his reasoning.
This guy's probably a Bears fan, so I'm going to say like 4. I think that's pretty mild. I think a lot of Bears fans are like, Byron Pringle's going to come in, be a good wide receiver too. So I think that's like a 4. I don't think that's too hot.
I don't think it's too hot at all. It's funny, actually, though, because I do feel like the narrative around Byron Pringle has changed since he was signed. Like, when he was signed, there was people who were like, and I think us included, when we made our little breakdown video of him, we were like, he could be potentially a 700, 800 yard receiver in this offense. Like, it's possible, given, a higher quantity of targets, given a system where he will be the wide receiver 2 and utilized more often than he was in Kansas City. And I feel like since training camp has started, that has changed. I don't know why, but I feel like, we talked about it a little bit 2 days ago. We said Velus Jones Jr. is kind of getting up here, and Byron Pringle seems to be like, we just haven't heard the name a lot. So do you still believe he could be that 800-yard receiver?
Do I think he could be? Yeah. Do I think he will be? No, because we just brought this up the other night too. Is like, there's probably going to be like 3 guys, maybe 4 if we're lucky, that are going to be all within like 200 yards of each other. I think, you're obviously going to be Cole Kmet, Velus Jones, and then, combination of like Byron Pringle, N'Keal Harry, Dante Pettis, whoever makes that last roster spot. Could be Daz Newsome, probably not, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's one of those guys. I think they'll all be close to each other. Pringle obviously has the experience. I forgot about EQ St. Brown, who also has experience playing in this.
He's been looking great. He had another great catch today.
Saw that. He's big. Like I saw a picture. They posted like the receivers all together. He was taller than every single one of them. And N'Keal Harry is like 6'4", and EQ was like in the back, so it's kind of hard to like get good perspective on it. But he looked pretty like
he's 6'5".
Yeah, maybe 6'6". It could have just been the angle, but he looked big. So on hot takeness, I think that he'll still be like, I think like 500 is fair. If he doesn't get 500, then it's a bad signing. If he gets like say 600 plus, then he fulfills what we thought, and then anything past 700 is a good season.
Okay, I think that's a fair way to put it. I think that's very fair. Okay. Yeah, that one wasn't too hot. I mean, that's like pretty standard, and it's,
What would you rate it?
That take?
Yeah.
That's like a 2. Like, we're not, like, you're not exciting anyone with that take. Like,
right.
I put in the TikTok, I was like, give me your, like, I need some crazy ones. Like, that's not crazy.
Right.
All right. This one is kind of crazy to me. I don't think this is any way this is possible. No Mo.Love on TikTok. Justin Fields throws for a 70% completion rate this year.
That's like I give that like an 8. That's pretty hot. Again, I think anywhere in between 60 and 65, we're like, that's a really good job by Luke Getsy and Andrew Janako in that offense to make sure that ball's staying off the ground, and Justin Fields obviously himself. 70 is
that's high, dude.
That's pretty good. That's a very high completion rate. Can you hear like the weed whacker going off? Because I can close my window. You can. Okay, cool.
You want to know why that's so high?
Why?
Name the players last year who were over 70% in completion percentage. Name the quarterbacks last year who were over 70% in completion percentage.
Is Rodgers one?
Nope.
No. Wow. Okay. Stafford.
No.
Are there any?
No. There was not a single quarterback, and that's why like I saw that and I was like 70, because I remember, I think I had seen something about that a while ago. Not a single quarterback last year was 70%. Joe Burrow was the closest at 69.9.
That would have been a good guess. Yeah. Okay, the Joe Burrow 69.9. You said?
Yes.
Yeah, and
he was
my
0.1.
Oh no, it's not. 70 is, yeah. Even for the way that football is going with RPOs and key screens and you getting the ball out quick and the quick game and stuff like that, 70%. What was Mahomes in 2018?
2018. Oh my God. All right, so there were 2 players in 2018 who were over 70%. Mahomes was 65. Name the 2 players who were over 70% in 2018.
18. Is Brady one?
No, you're not going to get either of these, I don't think.
Are they guys that played a lot? Like, are they guys that had low attempts?
No. These guys were, full starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Brady was 66%. That was 15th in the league.
Goff?
Not Goff. That's a good guess, though. That's a good guess. But he actually, Goff was not. Oh, he was 63%. He was not good. Number 1 does not play in the NFL anymore.
One of them does not play in the NFL anymore.
The number 1 does not play in the NFL anymore. That should be a good clue.
Okay. Ben?
No. That's not a bad guess. No.
Eli?
No. Eli.
That's a terrible guess, but like, you're going to say it. I'm going to be like, duh.
I am Scott says Kirk Cousins. He's one of them. He's number 2. Okay.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins had a 70.1% completion percentage in 2018, but the number 1 player was 3.6% higher.
Not in the NFL anymore. in 2018.
In
Andrew Luck?
2018. No, I don't think
He
Andrew
was
Luck
hurt
was in the
most of that
league
year.
that year.
Yeah,
I think that's the year he retired. Or
I
maybe.
think he was hurt that year.
Andrew Luck was 66% that year.
A guy who's not in the league anymore? Breeze.
Yes, I was like, you're gonna look at the comments and see I am Scotch just nailed it. He got both Cousins and Breeze. Breeze 73.7%.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. I mean, that's what he was known for. He was known for just his high completion percentage. Sophisticated thoughts in the chat on YouTube. My hot takes as of right now: Jaquan Brisker wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Cole Kmet makes an All-Star appearance this year. Well, unfortunately, there's no All-Star game in the NFL. If you mean Pro Bowl, let's do that because this is actually one of the takes that we got on TikTok related to Cole Kmet. Got to be Philip Rivers. I would have imagined that he was up there, but let me see where he was. He was 66%. He was 12th, so not bad.
I can't believe it took me that long to get Breeze.
I mean, I don't know. Like, you kind of forget about him, right? Like, I feel like that's bad to say, but
he just fizzled off. Like, that end of the career was just so, like you just knew that all his juice was gone. It was weird.
Yeah, it felt that way. I got to find the Cole Kmet one here. All right, here we go. From _silver99_ on TikTok. Cole Kmet, 800 plus yards and 10 plus TDs this year for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, that's like 10. The 800 yards, I'd give like 7.5, 8. The 10 touchdowns is a 10. That's a 10 hot take.
Yeah, I mean,
10 touchdowns is a lot.
He had 0 last year.
Yeah,
0. That's a lot. And like, look, I think the opportunities might be there. Like, I wouldn't say it's a 10 because like he is going to be the primary threat in the red zone when it comes to tight ends. Like, there's no Jimmy Graham anymore. There's no Jesper Horsted anymore. Like, it is just Cole Kmet. So
here's where I think like that makes sense, but to the point where like the offense will like the touchdown that Justin Fields threw to Darnell Mooney at camp the day I was there was just a rollout. Darnell Mooney is just like squaring up defensive back, head fake inside, get to the outside, and Justin Fields is like perfect, just throwing an out 8 yards away from him, right? I think there's going to be a lot more like scheme my guy open, and I don't know how much of that is going to happen with Cole Kmet because I think a lot of if and when Cole Kmet gets those red zone touchdowns, that's going to be a lot of not necessarily Jimmy Graham because Jimmy was a guy that could really box people out. And even though he didn't have the juice to jump as high, he still had the skill and technique to like really use his body and catch the ball far away from the defender. I don't know if Cole has that yet, but like we're not going to be throwing a lot of back shoulder fades anymore to Cole Kmet. Like Matt Nagy tried to do like 3 times in a row against the 49ers, some stupid stuff like that. Or how they tried to use Allen Robinson against the Cowboys in 19, right? When we would just run like 5 guys vertical and try and throw some more back shoulder. There's not going to be that because I think Luke Getsy is going to be like, let me scheme a real football player open instead of just hoping that I'm perfect on this play, air to Matt Nagy. But I think like if Cole Kmet gets 7 touchdowns this season, I'll be like, that guy should probably get real discussion for a second contract. If he gets 10, that's a Pro Bowl season, 100%.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't know in the NFC.
Think of how much 10 touchdowns is, like for a tight end, let alone any football player in the league.
That would mean Justin Fields is throwing 30 touchdowns. Like if Cole Kmet's getting 10 touchdowns, Justin Fields is throwing 30.
Yes.
That's a 100%. Lot.
Yeah.
I would say like I'm expecting the yardage. I think is accurate. Like I think 800 yards should be expected for Cole Kmet this year. He had 680 yards last year.
Did he?
We said that. Incompetent offense. If you guys haven't watch our breakdown on Cole Kmet. That was kind of interesting doing that. But 800 yards I think should be expected, and then the 10 touchdowns is like I think 5 touchdowns should be expected, but like 10 is like you said a major bonus for that. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's do a couple other hot takes here. All right, here we go. Let's do this one. All right, the Chicago Bears are going to go 11-6, shock the world, and make it into the wild card.
10.
A 10, huh?
Yeah, that's a 10.
Yeah.
Damn, like 11 wins is. I know the Bears don't have the hardest schedule this year, but 11 wins is still If they get 11 wins, Eberflus is going home with
the coach of the year.
No doubt. There's no doubt about it. And someone on the team is going to win some award, whether that is like Robert Quinn or Roquan getting Defensive Player of the Year, or Brisker or Gordon getting Defensive Rookie of the Year, or Fields getting MVP. Like something happened. I'm going to close my window because this weed whacker.
Now I hear that weed whacker.
Okay, yeah. Let me go.
Now I hear it. Hey, you gotta do the yard work on Friday night. You gotta get it looking nice for the weekend. I get it. Friday evening. I keep saying Friday night. It's literally 5:35. People are just getting off work. Yeah, 11-6 is lofty. Like I have said on the podcast, I believe 10-7 could be achievable if everything goes right. Like if everything goes right, they have the schedule where I can pick out 10 wins if they are a above average football team. Like I don't think it's actually that hard to do. 11 might be reaching it a little bit, but the final aspect of it, the wild card berth, that could be possible regardless of whether they get 8 wins, 9 wins, or 10 wins. Like they could make the wild card in the NFC with 8 wins.
Yeah,
I think it's that bad of a conference.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, look at the teams. Like, if you really think about it, like break it down. Who are the wild card teams in the NFC this year? Like, I don't even know if San Francisco's a wild card team.
You want to predict playoffs right now? Like, you want to just give a play?
Let's do it.
Playoff teams. Okay.
All right, let's do it. Let's predict the NFC playoffs 1 through 7. All right, starting with 1, going all the way through 7. We're going to predict the NFC playoffs. Starting at number 1, I've got the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, one's got to be the Rams.
It's got to be. That's a team that's too damn good, and I wouldn't say they got better, but they didn't go backwards, and it's incredible. Number 2, Tampa Bay, right? It's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, Los Angeles, 2, Tampa. 3, got to go Green Bay. I don't want to do it.
Green Bay, yeah.
I don't want to do it, but you kind of have to do it.
Their receiving core sucks. Like you look at it,
it's bad.
Their receiving core
good.
Sucks. Yeah,
the Bears' receiving core is better.
Yeah, it is.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, if that'll be like the indictment of like, I hate Aaron Rodgers, but like if that team ends up like winning a playoff game, which I pray to God they don't, like that's a pretty damn good achievement. Like, he's not going to win a Super Bowl, and I find a lot of solace in that. But yeah. Shoot. So then are we going Dallas 4? I think I'd go Dallas.
Wait, before we go to Dallas, I want to ask you if you saw that thing that Aaron Rodgers said yesterday.
Yeah, he did like ayahuasca or something like that, right?
What the hell is that?
That's so funny because I'm about to get real nerdy here for a second. So Kevin, have you ever watched Vsauce on YouTube?
No.
Okay, Vsauce is like this channel that's been around for over a decade, and the guy who runs his name is Michael Stevens. He does these real in-depth, nerdy things. I'll send you a couple videos he has on it. And a lot of these things are like high-level science, math, psychology things. So he did this video on ayahuasca where he literally went down to wherever it was in the Amazon and did it a couple days before the stuff with Aaron Rodgers came out. And it's like a trip. Like it's like a real, like to the people down there, it's like tradition to them. Like they do it, they take it, whatever. But people just go down there and pay to do psychedelics because they're illegal up here. But like Aaron Rodgers doing it and then coming back to America and being like, dude, like I love psychedelics. They made me like, what? Dude, you are, there's like a legit amount of people that make the case that you're the best quarterback of all time, and now they have to defend you doing ayahuasca too. That's crazy to me.
It's absurd. I kept seeing people say, bruh, that man sauced us twice on national television off of DMT or off of ayahuasca. Like, Are you kidding me, bro? Like, he is so weird.
He's a weird dude.
Like, and was he always like this? Like, I don't feel like he was.
No, man. He was always
changed?
Like, strange, but he was never like this. Now he's getting kind of like, I don't know. It's like that one friend you have one day, like they come to you and they say something to you and you're like, you're not the same as you used to be.
Yeah. What is that tattoo? Like,
yeah, he's a weird dude.
I don't know, man. It's really fucking weird. Sophisticated thoughts. G-Bet's the best quarterback that's in the division right now, but I think the Bears, if the players stay healthy, can win at least 9 games. I'm with you. We're with you.
Sure.
We believe it's possible. All right, so we went 1 Los Angeles, 2 Tampa Bay, 3 Green Bay.
Yep.
All right, 4, it's got to be Dallas, right? That's the only – I don't think Philadelphia is winning the NFC East, although a lot of people think they can.
I think they can too, but well, and Dallas has been kind of hindered by the injuries now, but I mean, Dak is still significantly better than Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. And I think Jalen can take a big step, and I don't think Dak is a world beater, but I still think that, healthy CeeDee Lamb, we're hoping that team is somewhat they can probably win that division.
I agree. So we'll go Los Angeles, Tampa, Green Bay, Dallas. Those are the 4 division winners.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get into the wild card, and this is where things get a little bit dicey, in my opinion, where it's, to me, kind of a toss-up. Like, I really do believe that. So the teams that we think are a lock to make the wild card, usually that 5th team is typically a lock. Typically that 5th team in the wild card is a couple games, like 3 or 4 games above 500, like pretty solidified as, one of the better teams in the conference, maybe just barely lost out on winning the division. I still think that team is Arizona.
I would say Arizona too.
Yeah, I think that team is Arizona if Kyler Murray just,
stays off double XP weekend, man.
Stays off double XP weekend, then they should be good. So we'll put Arizona at 5. At 6.
I think I'd put Philadelphia at 6.
I think you could put Philadelphia at 6. I think you could also put Minnesota at 6, potentially. But the team that we're leaving out, in my opinion, that I don't think is going to even make the playoffs this year is San Francisco. Something about San Francisco with Trey Lance doesn't get me excited, doesn't make me think that they can be the team they were last year. I mean, that team last year, what was their record? I mean, they got in and they were 10-7.
Yeah.
They were a good team, and they made it in the NFC Championship. They beat Green Bay, a hell of a team in the postseason, as they usually are under Kyle Shanahan. But is it the same to you as there's a lot of uncertainty about Trey Lance?
My dog is on my bed, no, I think San Francisco's big boomer bust this year. I
agree.
I think they either win a playoff game and everyone's like, dang, they really hit with Trey Lance, or they have a losing record and they're like, and I still believe in Trey Lance, but we all knew coming into the draft that he, this uber talented guy, but played in a lower division and, had a year off from football. Now basically he's had 2 years off, right? I mean, he was still learning in that offense and everything, but I don't know, man. I think they could go 8-9, and then there's some hesitation. So you want to know? You want to know who else I think has a shot that we're not talking about? New Orleans.
Whoa,
New Orleans could compete for a spot.
I think they could compete. I don't know. I think head coaching change. Who is their head coach now? Why am I? Did they promote Dennis Allen or? I can't remember. We're both typing in Fed. It is Dennis Allen. I figured that they just promoted him. I forgot about that. So that's good. There's not a whole lot of change there. I think New Orleans could compete, but I also do think the Bears could compete for that 7th spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also personally, I'm not as high on Philadelphia as others. There are people who think Philadelphia could be an 11-win team or a 12-win team. I don't think they're a 12-win team. I think they're a 9-win team, and they maybe get in if they win a tiebreaker. But I don't know. Did they get that much better this offseason? They drafted AJ Brown. They didn't draft AJ Brown. They picked up AJ Brown via trade. I forget what they did in the draft. What they got in the
Jordan
draft?
Davis.
They did get Jordan Davis.
They traded one of their first round picks for AJ Brown. So, Jordan Davis in round 1, Cam Jurgens, center from Nebraska. They did get Nakobe Dean, who me, you, and Justin.
Oh, that's right.
What is going on with him? But we don't. I don't even know if we know if he's healthy. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's been in training camp.
I haven't heard much about him. And then, Calcaterra and Kyron Johnson. So, I mean, the big one there is is Jordan Davis and AJ Brown are the two big additions, and then obviously Nakobe Dean pending being healthy. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're better than last year, and I think they won 9 games last year, right? So,
Yeah.
I think 12 is stretching it. I think you go 12-5. That's really good. I think if they get to 10, let's say like they win 10 games, then you're looking at Jalen Hurts like, all right, you might be the guy of the future. If they don't get to 10, then they're trying to
They're asking questions.
Yeah, they're trying to get someone else probably. They're gonna get
agree.
like was Trubisky 2 or 1 years in Pittsburgh?
This is his first year.
But did he sign a 2
Oh,
year?
his deal? I don't know. You think Philadelphia is going to go after Mitch?
They're gonna sign.
Oh my God! They remember what he did to them in the playoff game, and he's because he was exceptional in that playoff game.
He was
great.
He was at his best when the Bears needed it. But you know who was? I'm not even gonna say his name. Screw that guy.
Damn. If the Bears build a dome, it will help with their kicking woes, because there have been like I don't know if it was Parkey or if it was Robbie Gould who said that kicking on the lakefront is fucking impossible. It's just so hard because the wind, like even on a non-windy day, it's just still gusty by being right by the lake. Like
probably Parkey, because Gould was still actually good at it.
Yeah, Gould was still actually one of the Hall of Fame kicker. Yeah. So, God damn it, man, you had to make me angry like that.
I know.
So we had Philadelphia at 6, and boom, the Bears at 7.
So we're saying the Bears are beating Minnesota, New Orleans, and San Francisco for that last spot. I think that's not totally stupid.
It's not stupid because like in the AFC,
better than Detroit, they're better than Carolina, they're better than Atlanta, they're hopefully better than the Giants, and they're hopefully better than Washington, right? So, and then obviously Seattle sucks.
Yeah, they're better than Seattle. I think the reason why I think it's possible is I do think that last 7 seed could come down to a tiebreaker between the Bears and the Vikings, just because, they play each other twice. And I don't know. We also play the 49ers week 1. And that's actually, and that, who knows, that could be crucial down the stretch as well.
Absolutely.
And we're lucky because that will be the first game with Trey Lance with the 49ers. That totally favors us in that case, because this is the first game with a essentially rookie quarterback. I mean, not really. How many games did he start last year? Did he start any?
One or two.
I want to say he started like 1 or 2. He played in a couple. I know he was getting reps, just like running the ball. I actually think he threw the ball a couple times as well. But like it is very possible the Bears win that game week 1, not because they're the better team, but because it's their first full game with Trey Lance. And I don't know. I think it's possible, and that could come in clutch. The reason why I don't think it's outrageous to like not even assume the Bears are going to get that 7 seed, but like just kind of think about it as a possibility is I think all of those teams who are in contention for 6 and 7 are going to be within 9 to 10 wins. Like in the AFC, the 7 seed might be an 11-win team. Like that's just how good the AFC is. I don't even know if it's mathematically possible for that to happen, but the AFC is so loaded that Denver could be the 7 seed at like 11-6.
The AFC West, all their teams could be playoff teams. When you think about it, and then you're still
I don't even know if that's possible.
What do you mean? I mean, they got 3 wild cards.
Like I know, but like, is it like mathematically possible?
That's
that's
a great question. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I mean, you're saving a spot for Kansas City and Denver, right? You have to. So then, like, I mean, the Raiders were a playoff team, and the Chargers were one, not calling a timeout away from being one and knocking Pittsburgh out, right? So. I don't know, man. The AFC is going to be really fun this year. I'm going to have fun not playing in that division and just and watching it from the other side.
The Chargers are the number 1 seed in the AFC. That's what I have to say.
That's your hot take?
That's my hot take.
Nice.
They're just that good. Like
I like that.
I like it a lot. Like they have a quarterback who can do it. They got a hell of a lot better on defense. Healthy Derwin James, Khalil Mack. Oh my God, they're going to be terrifying on defense.
Yeah.
And then they lock up Mike Williams. Keenan Allen's been doing it. Like, golly, man. Austin Eckler, the dog. Like that team is freaking good. Shane M 7 to 10 wins. Haven't seen you in a while here, Shane. What's going on? 7 to 10 is like, I think that's like most likely what it will be, but I think the ceiling is 9 to 10. All right, so there we have it for our NFC rankings. Let's play a couple games here. I put together some things. I'm gonna have you rank some receivers, but first I'm gonna ask you a question. All right. I'm going to name you 4 receivers, and you're going to tell me which one of these receivers does not have an 1,000-yard season in their career. Okay?
Okay.
Receiver number 1, Sammy Watkins. Receiver number 2, Hunter Renfrow. Receiver number 3, Jamison Crowder. Receiver number 4, DJ Shark. Which one of those receivers does not have a 1,000-yard season in their career? Again, it was Sammy Watkins, Hunter Renfrow, Jamison Crowder, and DJ Shark.
Is it Renfrow?
It is not Renfrow. Renfrow wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver.
Last year?
I think it was last year. I had to double check exactly when it was. But he wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver. I think it was last year. Yes, it was last year. He had 1,038 yards.
I guess my next guess would be Chark because he's played it for a terrible team and bad quarterbacks. And
correct.
He's been injured. It's Chark.
DJ Shark. No, DJ Shark was a 1,000-yard receiver.
He was.
In 2019, he had 1,008 yards with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't know shit about football, I guess.
This is hard. Like, this is why I chose it, because I wouldn't have guessed this correctly.
Is it Sammy?
It's not Sammy.
Oh man, I was so
got all of them. Jamison Crowder.
Yeah. He threw in Jamison Crowder, because he definitely had one. And
right, exactly. The guy's been in the league for like 13 years.
He's had to get close for a few times.
Oh, he's been really close. I'll check how close he was. I think he's been in the thousands before, but to my knowledge, never hit 1,000. Yeah, his highest was 847 his second year in Washington in 2016. So. Okay. 604, 847, 789, 388, 833, 699, 447.
Okay.
Never an 1,000-yard receiver, though. That one was kind of tough. Real quick, sophisticated thoughts. Trey Lance ended up going 1-1 last year. Okay. That's right. If Bears can stop Lance from making explosive plays down the field, they should have a good chance to get the W. His intermediate passing game isn't there yet. It's true. Also, having that game at home is crucial. Having that game, like anytime you get the home opener, you get the first week at home, huge. You'll take it 100%.
Like this is really cliche, but like that game is really going to tell you what the Bears defense is about, right? Because that's a new quarterback. Now we're hearing all this stuff about Brandon Ayuk, like really coming into his own. He's got a better relationship with Shanahan. He's getting to know Trey Lance. They're spending time together. Obviously, Debo just got his contract, and he's the player he is. Kittle's healthy, so that running game is what it is. They got Trent Williams, best left tackle in the game, Hall of Famer, right? Whatever. So. That game is going to tell you a lot. Like, that quarterback is set up a lot better than our quarterback is. And if, there was that big, I think toward the tail end of draft season in 2021, people started to put Justin Fields and Trey Lance in a separate category than Zach Wilson, at least from what I saw, and in my opinion, that was true. I think Zach was a step behind both of them, but Lance will have big problems with Bears in the secondary. You never know. Bears might have a big problem with their secondary might have a big problem with the 49ers receivers. It could go both ways is what I'm saying. And that'll be fun to see, right? Like, how do they respond to that? That's going to be a lot of guys' big first test. They're going to have to tackle Debo. Hopefully Roquan will be in that game. That Jaquan Brisker is going to have to carry a big load. Kyler Gordon, he's going to have to show what he's made of. That front six that we talked about is really, I kind of praise them at practice. Let's hope that they perform. If Lance is the guy, the Niners are scary. Absolutely. And not just this year. And imagine that, right? Like, it's not the Chiefs in 2018, but it's Chiefs-esque. Debo is who he is. They've got the complement in Ayuk. They've got Kittle, who is a better all-around tight end than Kelsey, in my opinion. But obviously Kelsey has the stats and he does what he does as a receiver. So as a Bears fan, you got to pray that either they're not ready that week or we're just better than them, So
They almost beat them last year. They could have beat them last year.
Yeah,
I mean, they were tied with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Like, that was a winnable game. And talking about the secondary, I mean, this was a secondary last year that picked off Joe Burrow on 3 straight plays.
Absolutely.
3 straight plays.
Mhm.
Like, I think Jalen Johnson had one. Roquan Smith had one. I don't even know who the last one was.
The last one was someone random. It was like Bilal Nichols or Angelo Blackson or something like that.
It was a defensive lineman?
I think it was a D lineman. I think that they picked off a screen pass.
That actually might be correct. Like, that was that secondary was horrible. And they picked off Joe Burrow, highest completion percentage in the NFL last year, on 3 straight plays.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a forgotten moment. I almost said unforgotten. Such a forgotten moment in the 2021 season. Like,
it was Angelo Blackson.
Angelo Blackson.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's insane. So yeah. I think this, like,
I think we win that game.
I think we win that game. Like, I think we win that game. I don't think that's an absurd thing to say either. Like, the cards are kind of falling, the right ways for you. Like, as long as I think it's really, and I have faith in this coaching staff, and they've been. Look, here's what I actually like about the approach this offseason from the coaching staff. At least is how they've described it. Is, this is a work in progress, and they're not afraid to admit that. Like, Justin Fields, very early on in the process, was asked, "Is this team ready to play a game tomorrow?" He said, "No, he's not ready to play a game tomorrow." And Luke Getsy today said, "Are they close to finding the starting offensive line here?" And he said, "No. Like, I don't want you to sit here in July or in August now. Jesus Christ, it's August 5th. No. Sit here in August and sugarcoat it and be like, oh yeah, we're ready to take it all the way. We're looking great and we're ready." Like, no, like, take it at your pace. Admit that you're taking it at your pace as long as you're ready by week 1. Like, I don't need you to feed me all this bullshit that, oh, you're so ready. We're ready to go. We can play again tomorrow. We're ready to rock and roll. Like, be real with me, but you can't figure things out as you go. Like, naturally that will be the case, but all I want to see week 1, like, your team may not be as cohesive and may not be, as familiar with the system and, playing together. All that may not be 100% the day you step on a Soldier Field on September 11th. But as long as you go out there and you want to fucking play, you want to fucking beat the crap out of the other team, then yeah, like, that's what I want to see. Because with Matt Nagy, it was never that way. They would come out of the tunnel flat every single game. My dad would text me this every single time. When I was at college, we'd text throughout the game. He would text me. He would just say, "They're coming off flat again." And I was like, yeah, like, how is this possible? Like, you're playing a primetime game on Sunday Night Football against your rival in front of, like, thousands of people and millions on watching TV, and you come out flat?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Should not even be possible. But that's the thing I like about Matt Eberflus, and I think this coaching staff is like, that ain't happening. Like, these boys are going to get them ready to play. Like, these guys are going to fucking go after it the moment that ball is kicked.
Yeah. That's the fresh energy you want, man. That's what it is. That 2019 season opener, just like, I was making bets with, like, my friends who were Packers fans. I'm like, dude, we're gonna kick your ass tonight. And
oh yeah, I made bets, bro.
I lost a lot
because that was the year they were supposed to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. yeah. That season just
they scored 3 points. They scored 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And everything went downhill from there. Like, that is when everything changed.
Yep.
Like, God knows if anything is different if they won that game. It's probably not, but man, 3 points. And it's not like the Packers destroyed them. Like, they scored 13 points. Like,
I think it only scored 10, right?
Was it 10-3? I thought it was 13-3. 10-3. It
was 10-3.
Golly. The poor fans of the NFL that year.
Yeah, man.
Let's get ready for football. Like, this year we have Bills-Rams. Like, oh my God, that game. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
At SoFi, Bills-Rams.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be crazy. All right, here, I got another one for you. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do running backs, all right? I'm going to give you 4 running backs. You're going to tell me which of these running backs does not have a 1,000-yard season. All right, let's start. James Conner, Kareem Hunt, Phillip Lindsay, and Melvin Gordon. Which of those running backs does not have a 1,000-yard season in their career?
James Conner.
Correct. All right. So after not getting any right on the first one, going 0 for 4, you get it right this time. Kareem Hunt has one. Philip Lindsay has 2 of them, actually. Melvin Gordon has one. James Conner doesn't have one. James Conner, the king of touchdowns. I mean, he had like 16 of them last year, but never in a 1,000-yard season. I actually would have thought, like, if I hadn't done the research on, like, if you had asked me this, I would have thought James Conner had 1,000 yards that one year in Pittsburgh. Like, he was good that year. Like, he was a legitimate fantasy. Like, he was a top 5 fantasy player that year in Pittsburgh. Right. But it's because he was I think he was a good receiving back that year. So his all-purpose yards were probably around like 1,300.
That makes
but
sense.
Never cracked 1,000. All right. Let's do this. All right. I'm going to give you 5 wide receivers, 5 elite wide receivers in the NFL today. I want you to rank these wide receivers 1 to 5. All right.
Perfect. I love doing this.
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins. Rank these wide receivers 1 through 5.
All right. Dang.
It's freaking impossible.
We're talking about right now, right? We're talking about like
right now, August 5th. Rank those wide receivers 1 through 5.
All right. I'll start at the top. I'll go 1. I think I'm taking Jamar Chase, man. I really do. I think I'm taking Jamar Chase.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's a hot take. But
Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football, essentially. That's what you're saying.
No,
actually, I didn't put Devontae Adams in there. So
I would put Devontae and Tyreek over him. I'd put Devontae and Tyreek over him. And then 2, Cooper Kupp, 3, Justin Jefferson, 4, Stephon, and 5, DeAndre. And I think DeAndre Hopkins is like fantastic. Like a couple years ago, best receiver in the league, no doubt. But he's, injuries, and I just don't think, he's 31, 32 now. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Guys, they start to not be the same, player there. He's still a top 10 receiver in the game, no doubt. But I'd have no problem with anyone putting Kupp at 1. Like the season he just had was incredible, right? And I hate the people who are like, McVay put him in mismatches and he did this, and this, and that's why he was open.
None
of that is his fault. And that dude got open.
Yeah.
That he is when we talk about a technician, and there's some really good technicians in the NFL, or like Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson. And Cooper Kupp is the top of the top. He is better than everyone else when it comes to being a technical receiver. He gets open because he's good, and he blocks, and he's good with the ball in his hands. I just think Jamar is just that guy. He literally does everything. He there's nothing he cannot do, and he's what, 22? Just that to always go back to that one rep against the Chiefs, where he's this guy that's this deep ball over the shoulder. That's where him and Joe Burrow really made their money. And there's that one play against the Chiefs where he makes that 15-yard catch and then runs at like 23 miles an hour, doesn't get touched 60 yards down the field. Like, what? Where'd that come from? Even I was like, who was a big Jamar Chase fan. I have a whole blog post on him. It got like 700 views or reads back when I dropped it. And even I was like, where'd this come from? Where you're that fast? Oh my God. So that's where that comes from me. Just the physical aspect, along with just being a guy that can do everything. So how would you rank them?
I would go Kupp 1, Jay Jettis 2, Jamar Chase 3, Stephon Diggs 4, DeAndre Hopkins 5.
Okay.
I think Jay Jettis could be the best wide receiver in the league this year. I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm terrified that we have to play that guy twice a year. I don't want to play that guy twice a year. He didn't torch us. I remember there was that game on Monday Night Football last year, and that was the game that Thomas Graham Jr. was starting, and the whole secondary was injured. And there were literally people like betting their life savings on Jamar Chase to like have like record-breaking day. Like they thought the guy was going to have 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Like I remember people like literally people were hammer. I don't even know what his over was set at for yards in that game, but people were hammering it. Like hammering it. Like I think it was probably like 97. Oh my God. 90% of the country had that guy over on yards. I don't even know if he hit it. Like I think he probably did, but I think he was close. I think he did because he scored a touchdown in that game too. I remember he scored a touchdown. I think he scored a touchdown in the first half, and I was like, shit, here we go. This is one of Justin Jefferson's 4 touchdowns against the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. And great, here we go on primetime again, getting exposed. Love it. Like it was
Justin
terrible.
Jefferson, 4 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown in that game.
47 yards. The amount of people that lost money that day.
Yeah,
he had 47. That's that boy Thomas Graham Jr. locking up.
That was his coming out party.
Holy
God,
crap.
that game was insufferable. Kirk Cousins only had 87 yards passing, and the Bears, they didn't score in the red zone in that game.
I actually think he might have had negative passing yards in the first half or something like that, or not negative, but I think he had like 3. Well. I remember it was insane.
Yeah,
I remember that, Shane. See, okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I say you have to take a bunch of things into consideration. I don't know if you ever read Warren Sharp. You ever read Warren Sharp's stuff? Sharp football stats. This guy's actually he's a really big analytical guy. But whenever he does like his season previews for teams, he's always talking about what did those teams do in their 1-score games last year. Yeah. Like how many 1-score losses did they have? The Bears last year, I think they had 3 or 4 1-score losses. But this game, like this is one of those games where I say, if you flip the Steelers game because Tony Correnti's an asshole and he's calling taunting penalties for the most ridiculous reasons and a consensus, like that was a worldwide consensus bullshit call. Like this isn't just Bears fans bias, all right? You flip that game, that's 7 wins, all right? Yep. If you score once in the red zone in this game, once, you're in there like 5 times. You score once in the red zone, you win that game. You flip that, that's a 9-win team last year. Or not, that's an 8-win team last year. Like, they were like, with everything that going on, if they flipped those 2 games, and then there was one other game, and then the Ravens game, if you don't like Tyler Huntley do what he did in the final 2 minutes, that's nearly a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say, like, they were close.
The Niners team, too. The Niners game. They fluked that, too. That was crazy.
Like, it's sort of... Because it's hard because they were destroyed in a couple of games as well. Like they were not close in the Buccaneers game. They were not close they were sort of close in that second Packers game.
They were close in the first one. And that one, like where there's a couple calls where, if it doesn't go the Packers way, you're like, all right, nice. We were in that game. Like we had the momentum with like 9 minutes. We just scored a touchdown, down 3 points.
On the Sunday Night Football game?
No. The first one.
Oh, the first game. Yeah, I thought they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
And they were winning the Sunday Night Football game at halftime.
Sure were. And I think we all knew it was like, well, let's enjoy it now. At least I did. I was like, I'm going to enjoy this now because I don't think this is going to continue. And we were all right.
And it's not like they were squandering games against like bad opponents. Like that was the Ravens, the Steelers, and the 49ers. The Ravens, the Steelers, the 49ers, and the Vikings. Those games that were all really close that they lost. Like those are all good football teams. Like I don't know. And that's why like the logic for me when we talk about what the Bears' potential is this year, a lot of that is derived from that, from thoughts like that. Is like, yeah, they got better in my opinion personnel-wise. They have a better coach, which is going to be the most important thing over any sort of player upgrades or downgrades that were made. Mm-hmm. But also like just the fact that they were that close in those games and in games where Justin Fields was the quarterback. Like I don't know.
The Cardinals game was like one of the grossest games that I remember watching as a Bears fan when, Andy Dalton throwing 4 interceptions. And it was like, I didn't even want to watch it because it was like,
I didn't want to
Justin's not playing and it's a bad day outside and this guy can't throw to save his freaking life. It was just like one of those, why am I even – we knew Nagy was going to be fired. We knew Pace was going to be fired.
We thought he was going to get fired after that game.
Yeah. It was some games under that guy were just like, we're watching it and it's same thing with everyone before him. It was like that with John Fox and Trestman. It was all of those guys had games where like I'm embarrassed to be a Bears fan today.
But getting back to my other point, like the common thread with those 3 guys was like those games became insufferable to watch because there was no energy. Like even if you were like, there's just no energy. And like, yeah, it's hard to maintain a high energy when you're losing a lot. But like, if you think about who Mark Trestman was, who John Fox was, like, And then Matt Nagy characterized himself as this high energy guy, but it didn't, like, the players didn't buy into it after 2018. Like, he was getting angry on the sidelines and, yelling at the refs. And there's always shots of him, like, I'm fucking Matt Nagy and I'm going to act like I really, really, really am, like, into this when the rest of the team doesn't buy in. Like, that was the common thread. So as long as I see a team that fights this year, like, it will make it enjoyable to watch, even if they win 5 games. You know what I mean? Ron Winarski, Brady got cocky and said, did Ohio State ever had a good QB?
Me, yeah.
Kellyn Gerenstein. The best to ever do it in the NCFA. See this guy talking about Tom Brady? I didn't know he said that.
I do think that there was something like that. I don't remember what exactly it was. And I don't even think it was like a dig at Fields. I think it was just a dig at the rivalry in general. But
I'm muted. I'm muted. Yeah, I remember that now. I think he said it before the game or something. Mm-hmm. Pretty lame. All right, we're gonna do one. I'm gonna do one more ranking for you. All right, these are like a tier below, like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Stephon, like all those guys. All right, but we're gonna rank same thing. We're gonna rank these wide receivers 1 through 5. All right, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen. So 5 like tier 2, I guess, wide receivers below the GOATs.
AJ 1. AJ Brown 1.
Wow, okay.
Deebo 2. DK 3. I think this is actually the order you listed it in. And then Deontay Johnson 4 and Keenan Allen 5. That's so hard because now it sounds like I'm saying Keenan Allen isn't good when that's not the case. The guy's one of the best route runners to do it in the last 10 years, but he's just not the other 4 in my opinion. They're all younger than him, and they're all just guys that going forward are franchise cornerstones for the next 5 years of your receiving core. And Keenan Allen's probably got like 2 more years left in him of being like a really, really good receiver. And even now we're starting to see the target share for Mike Williams go up.
Yes.
So you don't even know if he's going to take that. But shout out to Deontay Johnson, who just got paid, who we just talked about might be a Bear, if like George Pickens was good, but that's not happening anymore.
All 4 of those guys on that list got wide receiver extensions this year. Deebo, Deontay, DK, AJ. I'd probably go number 1, DK, number 2, Deebo, number 3, AJ. Actually, I'm going to change that. Number 1, DK, number 2, AJ, number 3, Deebo, number 4, Deontay, number 5, Keenan.
Okay, sub out Keenan for Terry McLaurin. Where is Terry in there? Is he still at 5?
I think he's still 5. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'd put him above Deontay Johnson, I think, just because Terry's carried that receiver load, man. It's simple. Detroit is the team.
Dude, he's here again. Don Burr is here again. It's actually funny. So I saw Nicholas Moriano and Adam Hogue posted something on Twitter, and they were like, yo, we got to have a link up with Don Burr at like a Bears tailgate. And I was like, I messaged him. I was like, yo, does this guy hop into your chat too and just talk about the Lions for hours on a Bears podcast? And he's like, yeah, like every day. And I'm like, holy crap, because this guy pops in like every time. And it's funny because Jake, my the other co-host, is always like yelling at this guy to get the hell out of the chat. I think it's hilarious, honestly. I think it's funny. But Detroit is the team on the rise in the North. Case goes Hawkins 9th hard.
What's crazy though is, this is not the year for Detroit, but they kind of are like if they had Justin Fields.
Oh my God, I'd be terrified.
I'd be like, that team's good. Like their offensive line is set. Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson. They've got 2 other guys whose names aren't coming in who are solid. TJ Hawkinson, top 10, if not top 5 tight end in the game, right? Jameson Williams, who hopefully is healthy and will be good. Healthy DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Outside of Jared Goff, like that offense is not horrendous, but they do have Jared Goff. And I like Dan Campbell. I don't know if I'm sold on him being a long-term good coach. He's like funny.
So weird.
He is weird, man.
He's not as weird as Aaron Rodgers, but what did he say yesterday? He said something yesterday.
We're gonna tread water as long as it takes to can bury you.
Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. I
We're
don't
gonna
know.
try-
Like, I don't know. If those guys buy it, like if they buy in, the coaches always talk about this. Like, my guys buy into my system. They, it's crazy, but they like it. I don't know, man.
Lines
Lines
of
of
high school.
coaching.
That's literally what it is. Like Dan. This is Dan Campbell right now. He's looking up like the most motivating quotes of all time. Like he's probably sending links to like Motiversity YouTube videos to his
No,
players.
he probably loves that. Like, I have a funny story about the Lions coaching staff. So I'm down in Mobile, and for the Senior Bowl, and everyone in Mobile goes to this one bar. It's called Veets. It's on Dauphine Street, and it's right across the hotel from where the football players and the coaching staff. So this year was the Jets and Lions stay at. So we're in there, right? And this is Mobile, Alabama. So a lot of country girls down there, like, just girls who are going there drinking, like not a lot of eye candy. This is going to sound really bad. So this one woman walks past the bar toward the bathroom, and Kelvin Shepard, I think, who's like the linebackers coach for the Lions, I'm looking at him, and he just like taps his like the other coaches on the shoulder, and they all just like break neck, like turn and look at this woman. Like, it was one of the funniest things to me. I'm like, bro, don't you get paid like $600,000? Like, man, you guys are getting a lot of money down there. I'm sure he's a good family man. I just thought that was funny, like that happened. And then I saw Dan Campbell the next day, like just walking the street to get on the bus. I'm like, well, what's up, coach? How you doing? He's like, hey, you know how Dan.
Right. You said what up to him?
Yeah, I was like, go get him today, coach. And he was like, yeah, all right. Appreciate
Tell him to go get him. You should have given him some wrong analysis. You've been like, by the way, like the worst guy you had seen at Senior Bowl that week. You should have been like, hey, Dan, by the way, I want you to keep an eye out for that guy. Like, draft that guy. He's a stud.
I don't trust. I still don't trust the Lions to make good decisions. Like Don Burr said in chat, Dan Campbell's great. Hard Knocks will have him as people's favorite guaranteed. I don't care if he doesn't win games. He can be everyone's favorite, but if that guy, can't put together a winning season,
it's the Matt Nagy thing, bro. He was everyone's favorite. Like, that's the Matt Nagy thing. Like, he won the hearts of the whole fucking city. Yeah. Like, we literally were printing T-shirts that are saying, like, I have a sweatshirt that says Club Dub. Like, this was a thing. And like,
I'm safe saying this because Ohio State makes us change our passwords every year. But one of the semesters I had Nagy for Prez as my Ohio State Buckeye mail login. Swear to God, true story.
Like, we were all in. Like, I hate to break it to you, Don Burr, but I feel like this is the reality. Like, the cliches, the quotes. Now they're on Hard Knocks. Oh God, I haven't watched it. Even come out yet? Does it come out August 9th? Is that what he's talking about?
Something like that.
Golly,
I'm gonna watch it too, but
I'll watch it because it is like, I think like he is an entertaining character for the TV show. Like, that's undeniable. Yeah, I will be interested to see that. There's a couple things I had on deck too. Here's another hot take for you from Jakey Wakey 007. Bears are a top 5 pick and trade away Fields after this season. New GM/head coach are going to want their guy at QB. That's why they're setting him up to fail.
That's like a 15 out of 10 hot take.
It's an 1,000 out of 10. That's he got he understood the assignment though, and I said bring in the crazy ones because that is just. But like, to be completely honest, like that guy just didn't type that to be. Wait, this is hilarious. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah. After the Thanksgiving game in 18. Yes.
No, I think that was after they won the division.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
But no, there's people who legitimate, like this Jakey Wakey guy on TikTok. Well, first of all, like these TikTok motherfuckers, bro, and I'm one of them. Like, I use the app and we post on the app, but like these people in the comments, bro, these people are different, man. Like these people are a different type of species. Like the way that they react to things and stuff. But there's people who legitimately believe in this. Oh, the Bears want a top 5 pick. CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are going to be available. Let's set up Justin Fields to fail so we get that top 5 pick. Like, there are people who believe that. Yeah. Legitimately.
Yeah.
Tell them why they're wrong, Kellyn. Tell them.
These idiots, man. I mean, first of all, this is year 2 for a guy. You don't give up on a dude. And plus, these guys watch film. And Ryan Poles came in. If Ryan Poles didn't believe in Justin Fields, he would not have blown it up, right? They would have found some bridge quarterback to come in and compete, and they wouldn't have cut James Daniels. They wouldn't have traded Khalil Mack, right? Ryan Poles is just biting the bullet this year. Like I hear all these people talk about, oh, they're not setting up Fields for success. How did you want him to do that? He had no draft capital. Right. They had no cap room. They had guys who are on backloaded contracts that are getting old, and veterans like both Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack, who, that Khalil Mack trade, when it happened, me and you hopped on live and we were like, oh, I'm sad, so sad. They're breaking my heart trading our best player. And then, as we're in the middle of stream, we're like, oh, they're taking the whole contract. We're going to have 120 million cap space next year. Let's go. That's awesome.
Let's go.
Bears fans just have to bite the bullet next year, because next year all those receivers just got signed. But let's say someone pops up and then they're going to draft Jackson Smith and Jigba. And it sounds like they like Braxton Jones, so they might not have to spend early draft pick on a tackle. And I'm sure there's still a spot for Larry Borum as a swing tackle, or just start at right tackle next year, because Riley Reif is only on 1 year. So, whatever that may be. I mean, if they did, for the people who are dumb, who believe that they're tanking to set Fields up for failure, the whole approach would have been different. The Bears knew they weren't winning a Super Bowl this year. Now they still could get that wild card spot, like we talked about, if they are really good and they play really well. But, let's say all things go poorly and they win 4 or 5 games and things don't go okay, whatever. Maybe they looked bad. Maybe we didn't like the outcome of the season. Now we're top 10. We do get Justin Smith and Jigba. We have all this cap room. Who would they get a comp pick for? Let's say they get
I think they already have one on deck. I don't even remember why, but I think they have I think.
Would it be Allen Robinson?
I thought so.
They'd probably get one for Allen Robinson. They might get one for James Daniels. Let's see. Who's another one? This would have been the 2018 draft class. Who else was it? Anthony Miller. He's gone. Roquan Smith. Eddie Jackson he was 2017. That was dumb. I can't remember who else was in that 18 class. But, I mean, regardless.
Ray Collin, Adam Shaheen.
No,
those were in the 2017 class.
Okay.
That was the year with Mitch. The 2018 class, oh my God, I'm blanking on it. You're right.
I am too.
That was the Roquan class. That was Roquan.
Yeah. I'm about to look it up. I don't think they got any corners that class. Let's see.
James Daniels was in that class.
Joel Buniwe, Bilal Nichols, Kylie Fish, Javon Wims.
Oh my God! What a horrible fucking draft class.
And I swore after that preseason that Javon Wims was going to be Javon Wims would show up in August for 2018 and 2019, and then he disappeared because he wasn't good, obviously. But for me as a Bears fan, I'd be boom, Javon Wims. He's actually going to produce this year. Same thing with Riley Ridley. We wanted to believe in those guys, and they weren't good.
Would you rather box Jake Paul or Javon Wims? Javon Wims notably destroying Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's helmet.
I'd probably take Javon Wims just to get revenge. I don't like Jake Paul either. I think Jake Paul's an asshole, but Jake Paul has won fights. So not against really good fighters, but
against overweight former UFC fighters, but
a guy who wasn't even a good boxer to begin with.
I got a question for you.
All right.
Would you rather have Patrick Mahomes on your team for the next 3 years, but after that have the worst quarterback in the league for the next 7, or would you rather have Kirk Cousins on your team for the next 10 years? So either have Patrick Mahomes for 3 years, but then after that for the next 7, the worst quarterback in the league. That's option 1. Option 2, you get Kirk Cousins for the whole 10 years.
Does Kirk Cousins grow old and senile, or is it just
no? We're just
it's like Kirk Cousins every year.
2022 Kirk Cousins for the next 10 years.
Okay.
Take your Mahomes. It's very hard. Like, it is very hard.
Dude, Kirk cannot. He's not gonna win you a Super Bowl. I think I gotta go. I'd rather take my 3 chances with Mahomes than have 10 years of like, well, we'll probably be good but not win a Super Bowl type of deal. So, give me Mahomes in the 7 bad years. 7 years is a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
What if I changed it to Derek Carr? Oh yeah, I am Scott says Mahomes for 3.
Say that again, Kev.
What if I changed it to Derek Carr instead of Kirk Cousins? For the
I would
next
take
10 years?
Derek Carr.
What about Ryan Tannehill?
I think it's the same thing, man. I think it's the same. It's like with Kirk, it's like we'll be good, but like, are we gonna win a Super Bowl? Probably not. Well, and that all becomes so hard to offset because then you look at like Jimmy G is legit one throw away in 2019 from beating Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowls, and then so it's like, what's Jimmy G compared to Kirk and Ryan Tannehill? And like they're all in the same tier, in my opinion, but. Give me Mahomes for 3. It's just so like that.
I mean, yeah, like
everything.
And like if we were talking for like the Bears' sake or something, like we're just so desperate for a championship. Like you'll take your odds to get one in those years. I like that though. That was I like
you
that.
That up. It's like a football.
Yeah, I just made that up. Like I was just thinking about shit that we could do, and I was like, that's a good question. Like. Because it's really kind of trippy. So I don't know. Do you I have a question for you. I got a couple more questions for you. All right. Great. So last night was a Hall of Fame game. Okay. And I watched the whole fucking thing.
Good for you, because I did not.
Yeah, good for me. I deserve a medal. I deserve an award for watching that whole thing. Because my God, watching Jake Luton and Nick Mullins square off was goddamn atrocious. I will say, Josh Jacobs looked like prime Walter Payton against those second and third stringers in the first quarter, though.
He was playing, and like 3 of my scouting buddies, we all texted each other at the same time, like, why is he playing? What is he doing there?
What?
Yeah.
Like, he must have just been so dying to play football and like was pleading Josh McDaniels to get on the field. But I thought that was really weird because like none of the other Raiders starters were playing. No, and they're like, oh, Jacobs with the carry. And I'm like, Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
That can't be right. Yeah, it turned off. It's hard to watch. But the reason why I watch is because I use an app called Prize Picks, and it's like a betting app, and you like bet on player props basically, and it's all over-unders. But I essentially bet on the preseason. I want to ask you, is it unethical to bet on the preseason? Like, is that something we should really be doing here? Betting on the preseason? Like that is
it's just unsafe.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's just like unsafe. Like you're like that is literally like throwing your money up and just like, well, I hope it like lands in a certain spot. It's just such a toss up.
Well, all right. So the reason why I asked that too is because we now have confirmed that the Chicago Bears will be playing their starters for a series against the Chiefs. So if you had $10 to bet, or if you want to put it down, would you bet on Justin Fields to score either a passing touchdown or a rushing touchdown in that first preseason game?
I absolutely would. I don't think Gessy's going to take him out until he sees something solid from him. Like if they go
really,
I think there's sometimes maybe not like all the way. Like I'm not talking about like all the way through the third quarter, but like the way the preseason used to go, right, was like there were 4 games. In the first game, your starters would play like 1 drive, and then backups the rest of the way. Then they play the whole first quarter, maybe first half in the second game. Then they play 3 quarters the third game, and then they'd sit out the fourth. Now it's like I'm not going to play my starters at all. These games don't matter, which is fine. Yeah. Like I'm fine. This Bears offense is not proven, so I'm okay with them playing. And if I was Kansas City, I would do the exact same thing that they're doing. Why would I play the guys that matter? So maybe to say that until they see something good from them, that's not fair. But like I would expect a whole quarter
really?
Maybe, yeah.
No way. I don't think. I mean, well, because I don't like. They probably won't play the third preseason game, right? Because like that'll just take replacement of the fourth preseason game. Just like don't play them. So I guess if you want to play in like a quarter first game and then maybe like quarter to a half the second game and then set them the third game. Yeah, I think that's actually valid. I don't know. I mean, I do think it's not. I think it's important though. Like this is your time. Like we talked earlier about not wanting to see them kind of figure things out in week 3 or week 4. Like this is your time to mesh with your receivers and understand your system and play together as a unit. So I think it's important. Now you might want to bet the Bears to win that game because they're going to be playing their starters and the Chiefs aren't.
Yeah,
I don't know. Might throw some money down on the.
You also got to think about too, like they're probably gonna. They have to figure out Peterman versus Simeon. They're not going to keep both, right? They're only going to keep one of them. So, like, those guys will probably get reps with the first team. They will probably get, like, reps with the first team O-line.
That's a good point.
Receivers. So, even though those guys aren't good because everyone else is so new, they'll probably still get reps with them, which is, that's not good at all. But, like, it's a backup. Thank God. You just have to thank the Lord that that's not our starting battle. That's a battle for our backup. The loser will be cut.
There's no universe where that would be the starting battle. Dr. Strange went 1 in 12 million. He didn't find a single reality where it's Nathan Peterman versus Trevor Siemian to be the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Here's an over-under for you. Over-under 2 interceptions for Nathan Peterman in the preseason, like in all 3 games.
Over. It's Nathan Peterman.
Oof. Oof. I saw Adam Johns was talking about like someone was clowning him for not saying anything positive about the Bears offense or something on Twitter, and he was like, here's the only positive thing I gotta say is Nathan Peterman is absolutely lighting up the second team today. So, I don't know. It's redemption. The guy's been clowned his whole career. It's okay. It's just crazy he keeps getting opportunities. Like
I know. But you think about it, like that first game, it was just so bad. But it was so unfair to him because Tyrod Taylor, that team they were a playoff team at that point. They were winning, and then they were just like, yeah, no, Tyrod's gonna sit. We're gonna play Nathan Peterman, and it just became like it was unfair to him. Like, why did you do that to him? And it didn't have to be that way.
They wanted to do him dirty.
It didn't have to be. And I think one pick definitely came off a tip pass that should have been caught, and the other one. There might have been 2 of them, but like he's not a good quarterback. I'm not saying that he is or like that he deserves a spot anywhere, but like I feel so bad for him to the way he started his career off. When you go back to that, how that whole context of the situation. Then the Bills made the playoffs. They put Tyrod back in. They made the playoffs.
It is ass dirty. I think Trevor Siemian's gonna. Trevor Siemian had a good year that 1 year in Denver.
Yeah, he did.
And he's been doing it, like veteran quarterback. And he's from Northwestern. Illinois. Like, what the fuck is up with the God damn, I hate it sometimes. Like every new signing is he's from Orland Park. He's been a Bears fan his whole life. He grew up watching, Jay Cutler, and he's got a Kyle Orton jersey. Oh, praise the Lord. Like I've had enough. Cole Kmet has he's hated the Packers his whole life.
Stuff was pretty bad. I hated that. I hated it. St. Viator guy, like, and then they showed like all his neighbors, like, because in COVID, like they were going to drive by and honk. Like, I hated that. I was like, dude, get out of here, man.
That's it's
there's gonna be someone if the Bears move to Arlington Heights. There's gonna be like Eric Lambert is gonna put out something and be like, Cole Kmet was the biggest man to push for the move to Arlington Heights.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, these man, some of these people create a story out of anything. Yeah. Man, it's like you just take something so out of context and it'll get 20,000 clicks, man. Yeah. That is the beauty of media. Here's one question for you. Another NFL related question. If you had $50,000, I put $50,000 in your hand right now, 50. You could place it, one bet on the NFL's MVP this year. Who you choosing? Rodgers back to back. Josh Allen, I believe, is the favorite with Vegas.
You want to know who I'm going to say?
I do want to know.
Lamar effing Jackson.
Wow. Okay. Let's. Oh, you want to talk about bad receiving cores? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh
Absolutely.
my God. It's the worst I've ever seen. It's worse
pretty
than
bad.
Chicago Bears 2017. Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, and then like Quentin Prochet. What's that guy's name? Is it Quentin
Something like that.
Prochet?
Yeah. It's not Kevin.
Prochet?
It's not great.
James Prochet. Benjamin Victor.
Oh, Benjamin Victor sighting. How about that? Tylan Wallace, Slade Bolden. Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good at all. And I'm not saying people are gonna like if this goes up on TikTok, people are Justin Fields.
It's going up on TikTok, so let's hear your explanation.
People are gonna see this on TikTok and be like, that guy doesn't know ball. Lamar's receivers suck. He should have bet on like Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, whatever. That's fine. I get that, but like Lamar is so dynamic. He is a player that we have never seen before, like even with the likes of Mike Vick and Cam Newton. Even when you compare him to Kyler today and Josh Allen and Justin Fields, he's different than all of them. He just finds a way every time. And I don't like Greg Roman. I really don't. I don't think he's that good of an offensive coordinator. But at the very least, he's going to get Lamar. If Lamar plays all 17 games, Lamar's going to have 1,100, 1,200 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if that, and we're talking about most valuable player is not always most valuable player, right? It's just like usually it's like best guy on best team or quarterback on the best team. That's usually what it is, right? But when we talk about most valuable, if that team, let's say they take second in the division and then they would get 11 wins. Because let's say the Bengals win it again, or just for whatever reason the Browns do, whatever. Like 11 wins, 10 wins for that team with that receiving core. Lamar is going to be such a huge part of that. Like
he's the greatest player of all time with that.
Yeah.
My God,
I have this conversation all the time with one of my good friends who is a big fan of Deshaun Watson, right? Like barring all the issues, and I don't like Deshaun Watson anymore because of all the stuff that he's done, right? So like just based on the football player, and we always get in these discussions like Deshaun's a better passer, Deshaun does this better, all Lamar Jackson does better is run. When we really look at Lamar Jackson as a passer, that dude is freaking good. He's not Mahomes. He's not Justin Herbert. But, like, people always talk about the arm strength of Baker Mayfield. Lamar Jackson is a better passer than Baker Mayfield. He's a better passer than a lot of guys in the game today. And he's by far and away, he's probably a better runner than almost all the running backs in the league. Like, he can't take the hits that a lot of those guys do. Like,
most of them.
Are you going to tell me, like I'd say like Nick Chubb, prime CMC, Dalvin, maybe Alvin Kamara, obviously like Derrick Henry, but even like Derrick Henry is benefiting so much from the system he's in. Like Lamar is legitimately making 2-3 guys, like especially that 2019 season. I'm raving and I'm drooling about Lamar right now, but like him healthy, him coming back, he put on like 15 pounds of muscle, 12, 15, whatever it was. I think that dude is going to be just fine this year, bad receiving core or not. And Rashad Bateman, he was hurt, but he's still like that was a legitimate first round player.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I lost Kevin. It's just me on live now. Well, let's hear what he has to say. This is my thing now. Bears Nation Pod featuring Kellyn Gerenstein.
I'm back. Don't know what the hell happened there. And now my camera's out of focus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever do this, but like if you like swipe your like mouse, if you're trying to swipe your mouse to the left, but you're on a Mac and you do it with 2 fingers, it like swipes out of the tab.
Yeah.
It's like the most annoying thing. Let me try to fix this camera here.
Like the back button.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Here we go. What were we talking about? Lamar Jackson and all that?
Yes. Yeah.
Always a beast.
You were about to say something.
Yeah, maybe if I get this freaking camera to focus again. It's all fucking broken. God damn it. Stupid. Fuck it. I literally just turned the focus off too.
Yeah.
Golly.
This is rough, Kevin. It's not a good look for you, man.
Yeah, this is a really bad look for the Bears Nation podcast. I think Lamar Jackson is the best running quarterback of all time. What do you think about that take?
Absolutely, 100%, no doubt about it.
Oh, we're back.
Here's
I mean, there's
like,
going to be the Michael Vick defenders when you talk
yeah,
about that.
but those people, that's like saying like that's like an old head who would say like Gilbert Arenas would dominate in
Oh,
basketball.
stop it.
It's like that level. And like I'm not a hoop head. Like I couldn't tell you everything about a guy like that, but like the game is just different. We have better athletes in all sports today. Like if Babe Ruth was pitching to the guys in the league today, that guy would have an ERA of 10 plus.
Easily. That Juan Soto would send him 450 every at bat.
If he was batting, like you could take like a fourth guy in a rotation somewhere. That guy would strike out Babe Ruth a lot more than Babe Ruth would put the ball in play against him.
Exactly. This is why it's hard to compare eras, honestly. Like it is really hard. And if you think about like the thing that people have to take in consideration as you start to compare eras going forward, and this is very, very true. This is my most important take when it comes to the Jordan versus LeBron debate is like stats. Like when you're comparing eras, like no one's going to compare it with like the way they saw it, the eye test, right? Like, oh, you know, I watched Babe Ruth highlights and I just think he's so good because I watched him. Like, no, the stats, like the 60 home runs for Babe Ruth and his the home run records, like those are the things that will transcend eras. Like you'll always talk about that. But when it comes to stats, as we enter this new era, players are now going to be playing the game longer than they ever have before because we're in an era of health where a guy like LeBron James can be at the top of his game at age 37 and Tom Brady can be at the top of his game at age 45 because we're in an era where your body is capable of doing that because you're spending millions of dollars on all these remedies and all these therapies that allow you to play this late. So people at some point are going to, you know, look at LeBron and be like, oh my God, he's still averaging 12 points per game when he's 40. And it's like, well, Jordan didn't do that. Jordan wasn't doing cryotherapy before every game. Jordan didn't know what the fuck plyometrics were. Jordan was smoking cigars, betting like $4,000 against his opponents, playing 48 holes of golf before the fucking game started. Like, like you can't compare those things. But like players nowadays will be playing for much longer. It's not as much in the NFL as in other sports because the NFL is just such a grueling sport. People are going to retire early so often. But like in the NBA, in the MLB, I mean, people always play old in the MLB, but you know, just in this era of like, you could like my quarterback could be 34 and I could be like, that guy might still have 5 good years left in him. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know. Justin Fields could be 37 and he could have 8 Super Bowl rings under his belt. And we're like, oh my God, he might have 4 years left. You know?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
He's on Super Bowl rings.
He's still on a vegan diet, so I wonder, like, if that's like longly sustainable for him. I'd love that. I actually tried to go vegan because he went vegan. Not gonna lie to you. This is like fall 2020. I did it for maybe 4 days.
You lasted longer than most. That was. I mean, like the thing about a vegan diet, I feel like is very expensive, right? Like you really got to go find alternatives. That's the problem. Like if you're Justin Fields and you're at the top football program in the country or one of the top football programs in the country that your nutrition is paid for and they're going to help you with that if you make that a goal of yours, then yeah, it's achievable. But for us, we're going to Kroger every Sunday and it's like, fuck, I got to spend all this money on vegan alternatives. Then yeah, it's a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have Jewel Osco in Ohio. You know, here's a thing that a lot of Chicagoans do that I didn't realize, but they always put an S after things. Jules. Yeah, you know, it's so fucking funny. Kroger's.
Yeah, Kroger's.
You guys stupid. It's literally just Jewel Osco, you know?
You don't call it Jules?
I don't call it Jules.
I don't call Kroger's. I call Kroger what it is. Jules and Aldi. Actually, I say Aldi. But like Jules,
Aldi's. My God.
Yeah.
It's what are some other super Targets? I don't think anyone says Target.
I hope not.
But I noticed people love to throw an like it's not even a Chicago thing. People just love to throw an S.
Yeah.
For no reason. And I'll sometimes catch myself doing it and I'm like, nope. Yeah, I can't be doing this. can't be doing this. I'm not that guy. I've been hating on these people for years. I don't think I have anything else. I had some other hot takes that were extremely mild that aren't even worth reading. I had this one guy who says the Bears are going to go 0-17. Don't know about that one. That is just as hot as thinking the Bears are going to go 11-6. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty much everything. So I think we could probably hop off here. Viewers, thanks for popping in on this Friday night. You guys must be so bored and have nothing to do.
Yeah, that's
crazy. I like to watch these fools, me and Kellyn, on a Friday night. They're just getting their pregame in. They got us on the TV in the background where they're, drinking their alcohol before they hit the bars.
Yeah.
Wish I could do that, but I'm sick. So, no extracurricular activities for me tonight. We'll be playing the games all night. The Fortnites, the Fall Guys, the Rocket League. So.
I might pop in Rocket League tonight. You play Rocket League?
Oh, hell yeah, I play Rocket League.
All right, I'll text you after we're off. I haven't
Diamond 2, baby.
You're Diamond 2?
Diamond 2.
I think when I was really playing, I peaked at maybe I did get to Diamond 1 because I remember Plat 2 is like the median, right? Like that's like where a lot of the game base is at. So maybe I did get to Diamond 1, but it's been a long time. I want to play tonight now though.
Yeah, let's do it, man. To hop on. I am Scott, Sean Minarski. You guys always here. Much love to you guys who are like, I don't even know. Like these guys, like they just pop in and watch the whole time. Like we've been going for an hour and 26, and I am Scott has been watching the whole time. He does this every time. Like I don't think these people understand. Like the hand hearts. Like I don't think these people understand how much we respect that. Like we're just a couple of guys who believe that we might know a little bit of something about the Bears, but in reality, we're just dudes. Like it's nothing crazy. So much love for you guys coming in. We love interacting with you guys. Continue to come in and, if you guys are going to training camp, or actually if you guys are going to Family Fest on Tuesday, August 9th, Kellyn and I will be there. Section 115, row 4 will be at Family Fest. So if any of you guys are going, please let us know. We'd love to link up, get a photo or something, hang out, meet all you guys in person. That would be awesome. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you. We'll do an episode. We'll do a live episode after the Family Fest on Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that. But Kellyn, it was always fun, my man. See you on Rocket League later, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have fun with that.
Yes, sir. All right, man. See you.
All right.